We've been working hard, harder than we ever have, and that's the part of where we started, trying to make the better half, the charge to who we are, and in the second that we stepping back, we'll step the fuck off and try to light up with another match. But I don't think we lose the spark, I think it kindles deeper, smolder till the shards of light come creeping through the ether. Don't you cut me deep, I know you know that I'm a bleeder. You notice what I need and don't deceive me when I see ya. You're fucking unique, embedded deeply in my head. Your presence like a peak, a piece I eat of Grateful Dead. Yeah, this a fucking cute song, I should be in Tucson. Add this shit up on the fucking playlist in the Q song, yeah. This that what we bout to do song. We know the move, the ocean's moon, that lovey-dovey groove song. That time to put your shoes on, bust a move and move on. Show me what you got and see if we've been being too gone.
First met you,
I was living in spite and trying to figure it out.
when you first came through,
I was living my life and getting words in my mouth.
when my face turned blue,
You were making me smile and getting me off the ground.
I can't thank you.
Enough for being my light and really sticking around. Yeah, yeah. We've been working hard, harder than we ever have, and that's the part of where we started, trying to make the better half, the charge to who we are, and in the second that we stepping back, we'll step the fuck off and try to light up with another match. But I don't think we lose the spark, I think it kindles deeper, smolder till the shards of light come creeping through the ether. Don't you cut me deep, I know you know that I'm a bleeder. You notice what I need and don't deceive me when I see ya. You're fucking unique, embedded deeply in my head. Your presence like a peak, a piece I eat of Grateful Dead. Yeah, this a fucking cute song, I should be in Tucson. Add this shit up on the fucking playlist in the Q song, yeah. This that what we bout to do song. We know the move, the ocean's moon, that lovey-dovey groove song. That time to put your shoes on, bust a move and move on. Show me what you got and see if we've been being too gone. Yeah.
First met you,
I was living in spite and trying to figure it out.
when you first came through,
I was living my life and getting words in my mouth.
when my face turned blue,
You were making me smile and getting me off the ground.
I can't thank you.
Enough for being my light and really sticking around. Yeah, yeah.
That's a mic check.
Mic check 1, 2.
How the heck we doing, everybody?
How the heck are you guys?
I'm Strawstone,
I'm Modest K.
and this is StrawTalk After Dark.
Heck yeah.
We do appreciate you joining us. There's lots of shit you could be doing. I seen a funny meme today, or maybe it's just a post. Someone's like, so I finished Netflix, would recommend.
Like the whole Netflix.
Yeah, like people
Jeez.
got that kind of free time. So if we can get a quick little sound check, let us know that you hear us. Say what's up. Tell us how you're doing. Tell us how your day's been. Get some questions ready for Doobie's manager. I don't like to play it like that because he's a lot more than that. He's a young entrepreneur. The guy's probably younger than me.
Yeah. You're probably right. I guess we'll find out.
He's
today
he's
on
like
StrawTalk
exactly
After
what you did. Like, I don't know. We'll get to him, but let's do our self-serving bullshit and our greetings and salutations. So good to see you guys.
Dark. Hello, everyone.
If you like what we're doing, share it with your friends. If you get a little free time, go and check out the YouTubes. Go check out the past interviews. I don't know if you guys know this, but we're uploading other content from old shows every day too.
Yes.
So there might be some little performance clips of you. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
We got 20 up there already. So we're just trying to keep you guys with that content. So
Big facts. So shout out to you, our YouTube viewers too.
yeah, they're important.
They are very important.
Go and hit subscribe if you have not. We're up to 116, and I feel like that's 116 people really tuned in.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy because that's like a week, yo.
Right. So
crazy. Thank you guys.
We do have t-shirts available until the 14th. They're like $22. I'll post a link for it later. We appreciate anybody buying that. That's going straight back to the community. Plus, it'd be really cool to see everybody wearing Nice Enough t-shirts when we get back from all this bullshit.
Yeah, no kidding.
Check on your homies.
Check on your grannies and your grampies.
Yeah. Check on your strong friends.
The strongest friends.
It's like we do this every night or something. And make sure while we're doing this, we're going to be trying to take a second. That way we can stop and look at your comments and whatnot. We want your questions. Joe has a lot of knowledge, a lot of information. And let me get my view right. Huh. Man, I'm having a rough camera night, guys.
I think you look handsome AF.
Oh, hey, that's all that matters. Straight cash.
Straight cash.
But shout out to everybody making music. Smoke Break has a new video coming out on April 20th. We got a conspiracy episode coming up right after this one. We're gonna take a little break, maybe eat something, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about some conspiracies. We're gonna talk about Bigfoot. We're going to talk about how space is probably fake. We're going to talk about 5G. We're not going to get into anything that's too emotional or weird. We're going to keep it light. We just want to do some free thinking and maybe smoke a blunt with our friends while we keep an open mind about some things.
Yes. True.
Other things we got going on. We got Marquise's Dead tomorrow night straight from the graveyard.
Yeah.
That'll be cool. So that'll be 4 songs by Marquise's Dead along with an interview.
Heck yeah.
Saturday, we have a double header where we have From This Day Forward coming on.
Okay.
And
that's dope.
Elevator Rebellion.
That's
after
crazy.
that. Our guys. And then Sunday, we just locked in and finalized because we thought it'd be a really cool thing to do. Shout out to Kelsey from the 1867.
Yeah, shout out.
We are going to be doing a live stream concert from the bar, an empty venue. We're doing it super cautious. We're all wearing masks. As soon as somebody's done performing, they're leaving. But anyways, Cult Classic, C10, Aaron Smith, Sunday at 3 p.m. Live from the Nice Enough stream. And it'd be really dope if you join.
Tune in for sure. It's going to be crazy insane and awesome.
The song that we played was C10. Tucson. Yes. Somebody just asked Clayton if you want to drop that song link from your YouTube, or not your YouTube, from your Facebook page, then we can get you a bunch of new Facebook likes.
Yes.
You feel me, dog?
Everybody go check out C10.
Dude, we're definitely, and we're gonna call Jay Influential to talk about Sasquatch for sure. That's like a must. But
Sasquatch is real.
But before we get to all that fun ignorant shit, we're gonna we have Joe Money.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a little bit about Joe. Joe, somebody hit me up when I first started working with Aorta Hip Hop. I think it was TJ Turley. And he hit me up and he said that he wanted me to bring Doobie. Now at this point I'd only booked started booking some local shows. I had booked Gringo at the time. Shout out to him. I've been trying to squash that beef. I don't know. I want to work with anybody talented out there, so
Facts.
Answer my message.
Accept our apology.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
No, I don't think it was an apology.
Maybe not an apology, but just whatever.
But anyways, so I booked Doobie, and I hadn't heard much about him, but the kids around me, like Jay and C10 and all them, had heard about him. And anyways, he comes, and this guy, he was one of the first big shows I ever booked, and he's exactly what you'd expect of a tour manager named Joe Money. I'm talking tracksuit, fucking Cuban link chain, and gets up and he's like, hey, vibe check, 10 toes down. Anyways, he's kind of he's a very interesting human being. He's a character, but he also gets shit done. Like I said, I'm pretty sure he's younger than me.
Yeah.
But he's Doobie's manager. He's part of, I think he owns Hustle Entertainment. We'll ask him more about that. But let's go ahead and he does a lot of work with SCFMG or SCMFG. Sorry, I'm old. So all these letters and shit. What up, Kimbo? But yeah, he does a lot. He does a lot of cool shit with Doobie, and we do have Doobie coming back after all this. We are going to be hitting a bunch of cities in the Midwest. If that's something that you're interested in, if you are in a city that he has not been to, get on here and get loud. Let's this is a good. not saying you're going to get Doobie's attention with this. I don't want to sell it as that, but this man is responsible for putting him in front of fans.
It's a direct link to Doobie.
Yeah, so and he's a friend of ours, and we hope you guys make this a nice big interactive crowd for him. So we're gonna go ahead and call Joe Money.
All right, let me pull up my window here.
If you got some friends that are Doobie's fans, let them know that we are interviewing his manager right now on Straw Talk.
All right, we're calling him now.
Justin, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hold on, let me get the video up. Yep,
Right.
there we go.
Hey, there we go.
All right. Joe Money, how we doing?
Beautiful. We're doing great. You know, surviving,
Yes,
as
sir.
they say.
Yes.
You're looking good, my guy.
Appreciate you. So are you. You know, healthy, alive.
Yeah, I'm a thick slice. You know, this coronavirus ain't helping that, man. I've been working at my friend's pizza shop, helping him deliver, and like, I don't know. I mentioned that I put on like 4 shirts the other day trying to like get the right fit, and she's like, "Well, you have been eating pizza like every day," and I'm like, "Oh, like all right, that's subtle enough." Like, so I gotta get on my push-ups. That's for sure.
I've been fortunate enough to have a friend who's trains NFL and NBA athletes and has a private one-on-one gym that, you know, I'm able to slide into a couple times a week and, you know, get some pretty dope workouts in through this whole shit.
I think people are.
Can I curse on here? Oh shit, it's Facebook. Yeah, I gotta be careful. My bad.
It's YouTube too. It's all good,
All
man.
right, we gotta be a little careful though. PG-13.
Yeah, we are family content. I mean, we're not, but we have a family.
Yeah, we do.
So
Yeah, just in case there's any younger kids in here.
yeah, shout out to everybody that's watching. Shout out to the artists. We have quite a few people that have been showing interest in Doobie coming back to Omaha, Lincoln, the surrounding area. He definitely has left an impression, dude.
Yeah, man. You know, the thing is, what they say about with artists is, you know, you got to get out there, and they really, literally mean that. So, you know, when the time comes and there's a demand, you got to hit the markets that want to see you, and you got to keep coming back. You got to do good shows, and it'll grow those markets into bigger and bigger, you know, shows throughout the, you know, years as you come back. We've been fortunate enough to build that with Doobie in Omaha. You know, we've had some great shows, some good times. You know, that's a really like in an area that's a hotbed for us. You know, because we Doobie being from Ohio, he's really got a really strong fan base there, obviously in the whole state, specifically Columbus, and that's branched out into Kentucky, into Indiana, into Illinois, over to Missouri, you know, Nebraska, Iowa. You know, and a lot of the states around there first. And that's why we were able to build those early on. And now they've become, you know, markets we depend on.
I'll never forget, like, our relationship is interesting because when I first contacted you, I literally contacted you because somebody reached out to me. I had been working with Aorta Hip Hop for like 2 months, and someone's like, "Yo, Doobie's hot and he's on tour. Like, you need to like find a way to get him here." So I reached out to you. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing at all, and you kind of just led the way, and like you dropped game on me from like the first email to like our like first time like saying goodbye after like not the easiest of shows, you know, and. I don't know. I have a lot of respect for you because it's cool when everything goes right, but when you can handle when things go wrong and still like salvage business relationships among bullshit, I think that's respectable.
Well, I appreciate that, and same goes to you, man. But yeah, I think this was like the first tour Doobie did about 2.5 years ago when we were starting to put it together, and we had somebody helping us out from an agency put a whole tour together, and you know, we kind of felt like there weren't certain markets on there that we felt like we needed to hit. So we were, you know, taking interest, me specifically, from a lot of other people in areas of the country that weren't on our initial routing. And, you know, at the end of the day, when you have a tour routing, you lock in like foundation cities and sort of a foundation of the tour. And being able to hit other cities, you know, along the way on what would have been an off day, you know, are sometimes chances you might not want to take. But when you do take them and are successful, you know, they become, you know, part of the rotation. And that was kind of where our relationship started, because, you know, we were trying to fill in a schedule we already had. So I'm looking at it like, listen, the best case scenarios, we do an amazing show. So why not do everything I can to make that happen? And it seems like you're that type of guy as well. From the first time we spoke, now I know that you're that type of guy. You know, we get the job done, and you know, at all, whatever it takes. Not necessarily at all costs, because, you know, we want to do things, you know, somewhat profitable, but and we the first show, obviously we had a great show. It was an amazing show. There's a hilarious group story with the guys and the green room over there at the Lookout. Yeah. That is, you know, I'm sure on one of Doobie's like vlogs or something like that on YouTube.
We have a
where they'll
local
put
legend here in Nebraska.
This was the first time, the first time at the Lookout. That green room, there was some very obscene things happening, and I, you know, unfortunately walked in on one part of it, and I immediately had to exit. It was a great show. It was a really great show. And then at the end, you know, sometimes certain people, you know, liquor sort of inhibits their ability to stay responsible. And that happened with somebody in our touring party, and there was a little bit of a dispute. But, you know, we understand sometimes tempers flare, and you know, you got to come back and be able to apologize and say, hey, it's not going to happen again. You know, I think maybe like a year and a half, 2 years later, we were able to do another show back there recently. That was awesome. Also, more legendary shit happened after. But
we've had some fun, man. We did that first show, and then, I mean, I think I talked to you about even like as we were doing our first show, I was like, hey man, I want to do it again, and I want to do more. That's always kind of been my push. And like, you're right about Nebraska and Iowa being a hot spot for you guys, because everybody wants you guys. And we talk about doing Omaha and Lincoln, and are they two separate markets? Not really. Can we sell out to like it twice? Yeah, abso-fucking-lutely, man, because Doobie's killing shit here. And with the people we have around us, and Nice Enough, and Jay Influential, and C10, and these people that want to push that show, man, we're ready. And you're someone who is like, even as like overconfident as I like may have been at times, you're always like, okay, go get it. And like, I don't know, I take a lot from how you handle things, and use it for myself and how I move around now too.
Well, you know, definitely, man. And I'll say this: you know, I'm a big numbers person. The game's about numbers. You know, at the end of the day, how many streams, tickets sold, you know, albums sold, whatever streamed. So when I look at my clients' numbers, right, across the whole board, on every platform, from Instagram to YouTube, everything. And things are telling me in all these numbers that, hey, you guys should go to Iowa, right? And no one in Iowa wants to book it. I say, Justin, let's do a show in Iowa. You know, we make it happen. We basically sell it out with the interesting curfew times that they have, you know, because when I feel like, you know, what I've done in the past, what I can go off the research, the analytics, is going to work, I'm going to do, you know, that's something I want to do. And you kind of see that too, in the reaction on social media and the feedback you get when you have brought Doobie the first time to certain places. Like, wow, this overwhelmed me. You know, why? Because, okay, it's, you know, it's very, very few people know the numbers as far as with artists, and artists watching, I'll say, know the numbers, know the analytics. Like, I hear so many stories about artists, like same situation. Oh, I seen a lot of people follow me from this country, so I made a song and I mentioned this country in the hook, and all these people from this country started following me, and bam, you know, a couple of years later, I'm doing stadium shows in this country. That artist is Russ. You know, he tells that story in an interview. You know, and it just is as simple as having the wherewithal. Oh, there's these people from this area following me. Do I make content to, you know, get them engaged with me, and do I come and do a show? You know, we decided to do the show, and because Doobie's live shows are crazy, and the whole bunch is crazy, you know, it makes for something that people remember every single time they come, and they want to come back. So, you know, that's what you know, it was the sort of formula for success in what we've done.
Absolutely. I'll give you 100% credit with that. When you hit me up and you're like, all right, like it's time to start doing this again, Straw, you did. You're like, I think you brought up Iowa and Des Moines, like in that first email. You're like, we definitely need to do Iowa. And I'm like, well, that's great, because that's where my partner's at. And like, it was like a done deal like that. And I think that's how we ended up doing, I think we did 5 dates. Because like if you're willing to work with each other like that, I feel like it just creates a different dynamic. And yeah, man.
Yeah, we did 3 shows on this last one that I felt like, you know, most people probably wouldn't have done, like Sioux Falls, South Dakota, the Des Moines, Iowa show, and Tulsa, Oklahoma. And all 3 shows were great, probably some of the better shows, you know, in that whole region. Like I said, once you see, you could see where the fans are. Like, the internet is the greatest thing in the world, like, because it just, you know, makes it easy for you. Like, the information is there, you just got to get it, you know, you got to absorb it. So, you know, that's why we're able to, you know, have such success with you, and what a lot of people across the country would view as markets. Oh, okay, whatever, you know, I'm going to pass it up. But, you know, the shows have done well, like, financially as well.
For sure. What would you like if you were to give some advice to like Jay Influential, who was like my guy that came with us last time, or someone like on his realm who's trying to move around by himself? What advice would you give when it comes to like paying attention and using those numbers and using those clues, kind of like what you said Russ did early on? Like, can you elaborate on like just a little bit of game for them?
Yeah, so here's what I'll say about that is the numbers from a small sample size are never, you know, as credible as numbers from a large sample size, okay? And especially in, you know, our world, where now we're in the streaming era of music, right? Where streams, the number of streams is something that is driving the industry. So the only way you're going to get analytics and numbers from your music and content that you could apply to say, hey, I want to go on the road. Hey, I want to, you know, do publicity in this area, or I want to connect with an artist in this city, or whichever you know, however you want to operate as far as moving outside of where you're living to advance your music career. The only way you're going to do that is if you put out an extensive catalog of music, right? And this music streams a bunch of times, so that, you know, there actually can be numbers to say there's this many people in Iowa, there's this many people in Nebraska, there's this many people, you know, and there's numbers that are legitimate enough. Like, for the reason I said Iowa is because there was like upwards of 50,000 plus people, fans in the state, right? I don't know what goes on in Iowa, but I don't hear about too much,
right?
You know, on a national scale. So if somebody you really like comes to your state and it's within a 2-3 hour drive, I feel like they might take that drive.
Right.
So if I see 50,000 people in this state, right, that's not necessarily a large amount, but it's, you know, on the greater scheme of things, but it's a decent amount. It's a decent amount of people that are fans, right? Fans. They might even like on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, right? Stream on Spotify, whatever. I can say if we can get 1% of that to come out, right? Or a 0.5% of the fans, right? What's that? That number is enough to do a show.
Absolutely.
Right. So that's usually a barometer I look at because, like, again, doing things online, social media, listening, everything is very simple, right? Buying a ticket and coming out is a whole nother step. So that's why I really gauge on a 1% scale for a lot of that, and that's something that if you're coming up, the only way you're going to be able to get information like that, to be able to say, okay, I need to go on the road, or hey, I need to connect over here, is if you put out music and there's people listening in these places.
So content.
So
you got to get that content moving.
Well, you got to put the content out and get people listening all over. That's a whole nother conversation, right? But what we're talking about, doing shows, touring, getting an artist coming to different markets, that's that's levels, up from the ground,
It's balance too. Like you have, that's cool. You could do shows, but you do have to have the streams. You do have to have the grassroots effort. You do have to have the merch sales. Like you can't just put some money behind a Google ad for your YouTube video, get 100,000 and think you're killing shit. Like there's many angles you have to attack to actually be a touring artist.
Right. You got to have probably 30 videos that have 100,000.
Right. Exactly. So
at least.
Quit being
maybe 20.
With yourself, people. Do more.
One song. People sometimes forget. I could go on the road. It's have you been to a concert recently? The headline artist is 60 minutes at least. Do you have enough music to go 60 minutes and entertain people? That needs to be the first question. And if you say to yourself honestly no, you should be honest with yourself. Right. If the answer is no, then that's not what you should be focusing on right now.
Absolutely. So, Kayla, I think you had a question, didn't you? I've been kind of dominating the conversation. Anytime I can get your ear, I'm always listening. So, and anybody out there that is an artist or that is involved in the music industry at all, pay attention to this man. And but anyways, Kayla has a question.
How do you think that the current events will affect how you move in the future in regards to the music industry? Obviously, we're not doing shows right now, so that's kind of at a standstill, but there's still a lot of work going on. I imagine that you're still probably pretty busy, especially with figuring out analytics and looking at things and making sure that social media and things are in line and whatever all goes into being a manager. But would you say that there's anything that you maybe didn't do before, all the quarantining and everything that you do now that you'll continue to do after this is all over?
Well, as far as me personally, right this second, I had a 6-figure tour potential on the table for my client for this summer that we just,
right.
wiped our hands with for right now. And the thing is, we could put that tour back on the table again. It takes a lot of work, but we, what people don't understand about doing a tour sometimes is, from the management agent standpoint, is if I'm doing 40, 50 cities, right? Mm-hmm. Justin just said we did 5 shows, right? That leaves 35, 45 other shows. I got promoters from all over the country, so many emails that it takes weeks to plan a whole tour. So when your whole plan snaps, to start over again, it's going to take weeks to start over. But I don't want to start doing that work and say, hey, we're going to push. We're pushing for a July 4th start. Summer tour. That was what we were planning. And we were going to announce the beginning of April, have a nice 3 months on sale, put a bunch of music out in the next 3 months. As you can see, Doobie dropped his first single of what's going to be probably 6 to 10 songs over the next couple months, but you know, and push this and be out on the road in the summer, because Doobie hasn't been on the road in the summer, and that's the best time to tour. So that's so now it's like, okay, we want to push the tour back. When are we gonna push it back to?
Right.
Again, you heard me. I got a couple weeks planning time, then I got a 2 to 3 month on sale time before I even go out on the road. So I'm looking at about 3 to 4 months from when they say we're back to when I could get on the road.
Right.
Proper.
So if we're back, June 1st, I guess, is now the latest, or May 15th or whatever. I'm not out on the road till October. Then we're doing the same exact winter tour we just did to finish 2019.
Right.
Which that's seemingly the best case scenario right now. And if that doesn't happen, we're not going to tour at the top of, you know, the year, January, you know, February, March, when it's like, when we could just wait 3 more months after that and go out May, June, July, August of next summer,
Right.
like we wanted to do this summer. So it's kind of just in a waiting game a little bit to see more or less what the situation is. I want to go on the road this year because we could still go on the road next summer if we go on the road at the end of the year. So I'm just waiting on it. And then if Doobie, you know, he says to me, I don't want to tour in the winter, then that's it. Then we're going to wait until next year. So that's on the touring front. The music front, nothing has changed.
Right.
You know, we were planning to put out music. The only thing now is stopping us is shooting music videos, but Doobie went back to Ohio to be with his family. He left Los Angeles when this all started, so he's there. One of our videographers is there, and we finally got him a barber to come to his house. So we're gonna work on shooting some new videos that we had planned. You know, there were shoots planned. You know, locations booked, directors booked throughout the month of March. All which got canceled. Cali was the first state to do the stay-at-home order. So, you know, everything's been locked down here for a good month now.
Yeah.
So all that stuff got canceled. So we had the first video. We've had this video done. You know, we weren't planning on releasing music till we did right now. So we would have had the whole month of March to shoot what was like 4 or 5 videos, and then roll out all this music, do all this promo, pop out into a different couple of cities before, you know, with the tour announced. But now everything is just strictly about putting the music out. So we're going to work on some videos in quarantine. You know, Doobie will be in them by himself, you know, for the sake of social distancing. And but we're rolling with a lot of the online digital marketing that we had already planned to do. Doobie's new video came out Sunday night. It's already had 500,000 views on YouTube. It's Thursday night now, so it hasn't even been a week. It's gonna climb to 1 million very fast. It was trending top 30 on YouTube when it launched. So when we seen the initial reaction, we started pumping some of the digital marketing we had planned for the first week of release. Doobie was posted on Academics Instagram page, is a big hip hop Instagram. He's also posted on Our Generation Music. He'll be posted on my mixtapes, I think tomorrow or the next day. You know, a couple of these things to highlight the song release this week. And then, you know, the plan for music, obviously, to be in with the times is get some music on TikTok and Triller as far as doing some challenges. And we had planned that already prior to this whole quarantining thing where everyone's doing every single challenge that exists. So Doobie's new song, he has this like pre-chorus part that every line ends in yes, sir. So he's going to be launching a yes, sir challenge starting at the top of the week for the second week after the song came out to really give it a nice boost. And he's got some good, really dope lines that'll line up great. And we're gonna push that for 2 to 3 weeks with some influencers on TikTok and Triller, just to get things warmed up because he hasn't been active on those pages. He's new to them. He didn't use them last year, but he's jumped on them and he's gonna get active on them because we're working with a couple people to do a real big TikTok Triller marketing campaign for his next song that has an incredible, great 15 to 30 seconds for the platforms. And that's something that we looked at when he put together this next crop of music. We said, okay, which songs are best fit for this? And let's try and, jump in on that marketing and get something going crazy on that, and which songs are not, and the ones that are not, what can we do with that? And we felt like this song that we just put out, we thought was a little bit too explicit for TikTok, but we thought it would be dope to do a challenge where you could, put weed in it or whatever, like get a little crazy with it. To start off, I don't think we expected this song to react so fast. That's why we jumped on board with doing some of the marketing we had planned for the next song. On this one, we're just going to kind of double back. But, nothing's really changed as far as the online. We're just going super hard to get the views up. And another thing that I put on my Instagram like 2-3 days ago, and this is really for all the artists paying attention right now. The music game, again, is about streaming. It's about numbers. So if you have a catalog of music, right, while this whole thing's going on, we can sit back and collect money. Like, that check is not changing every single month. The Spotify, the Apple, the YouTube, the Amazon, the Tidal, the Google Stream, Pandora, all those checks, they don't change unless you stop putting out music or your profile dies for some weird reason off the internet. So as long as people are listening to your music, you're getting paid. So Doobie, for instance, he doesn't have to go on the road. He could sit home. The going on the road helps advance what you already have, right? But what he already has is a catalog that streams. Now, if you look on Spotify and YouTube, right, you could see how different artists, they might have a bunch of Spotify plays. They don't have any YouTube. You're missing out.
Right.
If you have plays on every platform, you are literally going to collect checks. So that, that part of the coronavirus for his business, for what we're doing, it's only about to grow. So, it's a matter of telling, Doobie right now to just stay sane, and he wants to be out and about and getting shit done. That's the biggest difference we're dealing with right now. Is like, I never have to worry about like him doing what he wants to do, because he's very low key and always, just doing very low key shit. Now he can't do anything, so he's really going crazy. But aren't we all?
Right. No, I think that's all really good advice, man. And make sure you hit those, like upload your music properly, distribute it properly, hit all channels, hit all angles. Don't just be happy with doing one thing. It takes work though. That's one thing. So if you want those checks, if you want that consistency, you really got to go get it. And it ain't easy, but it's attainable and it's consistent, like you said.
And make sure you're getting paid. You know what I'm saying? Like, make sure that you're the one who's getting paid off your music.
Yes, absolutely.
That sometimes people like, I've heard new artists say to me, "Oh yeah, I actually signed a new artist who said this to me," and now they laugh at it. But it's these two sisters, they're an R&B group. Their name's Mads and Rye. They're from Clarksville, Tennessee. But they had this demo, and they're like, they sent it to me, because I had known them prior to signing them as friends, and they sent me this demo, and I'm like, oh, this is amazing. They're like, yeah, we're just gonna put it out. I'm like, what do you mean you're just gonna put it out? They're like, oh, on Spotify. I'm like, oh, who's gonna do that? They're like, oh, the producer's just gonna put it out on there. I'm like, well, what if like it goes to 1 million plays and there's like thousands of dollars to be made off of it?
Right.
Where are you gonna get that? They're like, oh, I guess we'll worry about it then. I'm like, no, you won't, because that you never know. Like, again, back to Doobie, there's songs that we put out, I can't believe they have as many plays as they do. I wouldn't have said it, and I'll admit that, right? But I made sure that as soon as when we release them, okay, you want to release this song, cool. What I want to do is make sure it's on every platform that makes money. The song can't be streamed unless they're paying us. So that if it does go crazy, at least you're winning off of it. I can say I was wrong, but I was right enough to make sure that you're getting paid.
Right, absolutely.
So
And that's
make sure that artist.
Yeah, make sure you are about your money. Make sure there's that transparency when it comes to your talking to people and working with people. We've had you for 35 minutes. I feel like we dropped a lot of knowledge on these people.
For sure.
Joe, I can't wait to reschedule. We are coming back to Nebraska. I'm going to try to get 3 Nebraska dates. You're going to tell me no, and I'm going to bug you about it nonstop until you at least give me 2. And after that, we're gonna do a lot of shit together. But I think we're gonna end this by playing a video.
Yeah.
We're gonna play.
Let's play Doobie's new video. I don't want to talk about love.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna play right now.
Hey, thanks for joining us, man. We're gonna say goodbye, but I'm gonna be bugging you real soon, bro.
Yep. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate that. We're working on a new tour routing, but like I said, coronavirus might be pushing shit way back.
Dude, and I'm with that, and you know me, like I love working with you guys, and I love doing shows, but I'm to a point, if I can't be 100% sure, I don't want to put the fucking time and mental work into it. And I feel like there's a credibility issue there too if you're constantly just trying to be like the first show back. I want to be back when it's right, and I want to do it right.
We're gonna wait, until Trump puts a good handle on everything. He's on the right track, and I think the media needs to calm down a little bit and let everyone settle back into life as we know it. But I have some faith in Trump finally that he'll get it done.
A little bit. All right, man. We'll talk to you later.
All right, guys. Thank you, Justin. Appreciate you guys. Yep. Be easy, guys.
So that was Joe Money.
Joe Money.
And I hope you were paying attention, because he says a lot, and he don't just talk, man. He definitely knows what the fuck he's talking about.
And if you missed anything, make sure you catch the replay or go to YouTube and check it out.
Yeah, we'll try to highlight some key parts. Eventually, we're going to be cutting up our interviews. That way you can catch like certain parts and we can highlight things. But that's somebody that, he, in the middle of chaos, the first time we worked together, as it was ending, like we met alongside the building, and he's like, all right, we'll work together again. And like the bar's throwing them out, like they're yelling and cussing at us, and me and him as the two people that like put it together, we just like knew we were going to work together again. It was going to work out.
Right.
I remember going back in the bar and people were like, man, this sucks. We'll never be able to have Doobie again here. And I'm like, I knew that business relationship was built at that point.
Yeah, it was established then.
He's a solid dude, and that's why you always, even with shit going crazy, even with one of the people on his team threw a glass at one of the people that I work with and love. Yeah. They were all, he was drunk, he was being dumb, but like I'm glad that I didn't throw a fit. I'm glad that I didn't hold that against them forever. Shout out to Crash Minotti. That's my guy. Shout out to DJ Highlight. Shout out to Doobie. Man, we look forward to seeing you guys again.
For sure.
We're going to kill shit with you guys. But let's go ahead and play that new Doobie video.
Yep. I don't want to talk about love.
And then we're going to come back with a conspiracy episode still.
Yeah, we still have that. I also, Modest K's joke of the day still.
Oh, my bad. Well, let's do that now. Before the video. Yeah, give me a joke. I want to laugh. Tell me funny things.
All right.
She loves her joke
I have my
today.
joke.
She loves her joke today.
I do love my joke.
So we got a joke of the day. We're going to show the new Doobie video, and then we're going to come back in 20 minutes with our super lighthearted, open-minded, smoke a blunt about it, after dark, extravaganza, conspiracy episode.
Yeah. It's going to be awesome.
I personally don't believe in space, so I would love to talk to you guys about that.
That's going to be talked about.
But
you know, Justin, I was approved to borrow money, but then the bank found out that I wanted to be a rapper with face tattoos.
Oh, no.
And now they won't Post Malone.
Oh, my God. Say that one more time, Kayla.
I said I went to the bank, but then they found out that I wanted to be a rapper with face tattoos. And now they won't Post Malone.
Now they won't Post Malone. Oh, golly. So let's go ahead and play that Doobie video.
Doobie's video.
We'll see you guys soon with the conspiracy talk. Follow us on YouTube, sons of bitches.
Biggie O's up, two's up. We pack a punch like school lunch. Did it for my dogs, that's my word in this bitch. And the girl ain't for me, it's for the girl that I'm with. Yeah, I've opened doors, suicide. I need to know, is you down to ride? I done got rich, how it end up like this? That with D's on my bitch, big B's on my whip. 4G out of shoe, on the Billy coupe, no top, bitches brainless. Yes, sir. Michael Mary jeans, Louis V belt, it look good with the stainless. Yes, sir. Life is a dream, till you wake up and realize that you ain't shit. Yes, sir. Percy codeine, I don't need help, I don't need to change. Yes, did me dirty, it ain't you, it's me. My heart is hurting, tryna pick up the pieces. I don't need this. Love did me dirty, this ain't new to me. Who you was fooling, cause it wasn't me. Hey, yeah. I'm in my bag and I swear it ain't fair. She try get freaky, I swear I don't care. Don't smoke no ciggy, big blood in the air. My bitch is pretty, my plug is the man. My time is different, just check my wristband. My Gucci package is full of some bands. Ay, put me in my mode. I ain't felt like this in forever. I'm on top of the whole damn world. I ain't never gon' let up. I remember when you said those things, But you would never let me breathe. Know that hell don't freeze, We were never meant to be. Girl did me dirty, it ain't you, it's me. My heart is hurting, tryna pick up the pieces. I don't need this. Love did me dirty, this ain't new to me. Who you was fooling, cause it wasn't me.